Can relate to this. You love your aging parents, but teaching them to use their smartphone or computer is a challenge. Or you are that senior citizen and you feel left behind with technology. You want to be engaged through email, texting, and Facebook, but you don't understand the terminology. Savvy Tech Training specializes in helping seniors learn to use their devices. The film Cyber Seniors created an international campaign where students teach senior citizens how to use the new technology. 2 years ago, a Greenbrier High School student used it as a model for his senior project.
My sister, Joyce, she recommended that I do something that would actually, impact other people's lives.
I have a computer, a laptop, and I have an iPad. I can afford those things, but I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do with them. Seniors are not slow, they just need to be taught it their way.
Cyber Seniors is a program that we thought, it's not just about the electronics. It's not just about learning what to do with my iPhone or with my smartphone or with my iPad. For us, it's about the interaction. We knew it was going to kind of be a hit, but the turnout's been great.
Melonie Holmes has over 25 years of business management experience with a high emphasis on customer service. She started Savvy Tech Training because she has the patience to teach others. And as we were saying earlier, sometimes it's just hard for us to be patient with our older parents or grandparents. But Melonie, in as little as 2 hours, can have Grandma Googling and sending selfies to her grandkids. Maybe in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But you do teach in 2-hour sections.
Absolutely, yes. Even in 1 hour, actually, because
Right.
it just depends on what the client needs. Sometimes people call me and they have a list of things they want to go through.
Yeah.
And so we just hit their checklist and go through whatever it might be that they need help with.
Melonie's business is really neat, and if you check out her website, you see where she loves to teach computer skills to adults. Teaching adults how to do this, and also senior citizens. You do,
Yes,
as we were saying, have the patience to work with senior citizens. Most people, and I think that older adults certainly fall into this, change is hard. And if somebody isn't comfortable with technology, like my mother, for instance, then having to learn that new skill set is really challenging.
It is, and what happens is, because people who grew up in a different generation where there wasn't touching this, it was all physical. Now we have a very much non-physical world where it's in the cloud. And there's a lot of terminology that older adults don't understand. So, but at the same time, they're getting people saying, you should be on Facebook, that's where the photos are, or we want to text you, get a smartphone. So it's kind of, sometimes my clients are kind of kicking and screaming, being pulled into the tech world or into the 21st century of having a smartphone, having a tablet, having their computer and having to do things on it. They also are kind of forced into it just by businesses. A lot of businesses require you to have an email address at least so that you can get information. Even banks, they would like you to get your statements online because it's less for them to have people on staff for you to go into a bank or for them to mail out statements. So it's just the way the world is moving into technology is just a way of life. But it can be intimidating because of all the terminology and the small devices and small icons and things.
Right. Oh, yes, it can indeed. When you talk about what's happening in the world, you really know firsthand because Melonie, as you can tell from her accent, is not from America. She is from England. You're from London. And tell us how you ended up in Augusta.
Well, I was introduced to my husband, who's a New Yorker, from some friends. And it's funny because we actually met on the phone. We didn't see each other. It was almost before, online dating. This was phone dating. And but we hit it off, and I ended up coming over here, and I love it. I started out in New York, which I liked, but not in winter. So when the opportunity came for us to come down here, I said, yes, let's go. I can't take these winters anymore. So I love Augusta. I love the South. I love the people, and it's just been awesome.
If you go to the Facebook page or the website, you will see the most wonderful recommendations and feedback from people who have used your services. How does that make you feel when you know you've really helped people make this connection?
Well, one of the reasons I got into this was because I came across so many older folks who felt like they were stupid because they didn't know as much about technology as their grandkids or their kids, and they just felt inadequate and also left out. So my mission really, it kind of started as a heartfelt mission to help seniors and adults to know that they can learn this information. They're not stupid. They just need someone that understands how they think, that can write and explain the things simply for them, and to write procedures and understand. They need notes as well afterwards. So when I, you know, I'm always really excited when I've helped somebody, and it really is satisfying to get those testimonials and to realize that it has made an impact in somebody's life.
I think that what you just said is really important too. When you talked about they need to write, because one of the things about technology is that we're becoming, you know, a paperless society. And I was very much that same way. I didn't understand or trust the notes part of my smartphone for the longest time. And I would still want to just take everything, or that my calendar in my phone would really keep those dates. And I don't know if the paper is a security or what, but I think that when you write it down again, you're reinforcing those steps, and then in time, when they can go back and work through it again, and they'll learn it and commit it to memory.
I mean, that's the thing. You'd be surprised. You think if you go and send an email with an attachment, to you it will just be like click, click, click. But when you write it down, it's actually maybe 7 to 10 steps to do that if you're really writing it in detail. So for an older person that's not used to technology, that can really be a lot to remember. And so when they have it written down, they can just remember where to go. And I'll include screenshots as well. So, you know, a picture paints 1,000 words. So, but that helps. But yeah, so I always try and leave notes to help their memories.
I know that a lot of you are listening right now and you're thinking, I have got to get a hold of that woman. She has to go talk to my father or whatever. So take a look right now at Melonie's information. Her company again is Savvy Tech Training, and she has a special emphasis on computer training for seniors. Savvy Senior Training. This is personal training, and it's customized for what your client needs. She does on-site. She'll come to your house or your business, or she can do this remotely. The number to call is 706-250-2784. And Melonie, I just can't thank you enough for your time today, and I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing in our community. And people can find out about your prices, your rates, and everything else on your website, or by doing contacting you that way.
Well, it's a great pleasure, Jenny. Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely.